Right, let's do the fun bit, or fun for you, not so much fun for me. Let's run through the list of things that are wrong with my Triumph Rocket Free Classic. And first and foremost, ignition on, fuel pump primes. Hit the starter, doesn't have enough juice to turn the bike over. And I've tried charging the battery, doesn't seem to get the battery up to the point where it's got enough voltage to crank. So I think I'll try charging it on a more specialised battery charger. If not, it's going to be a new battery. Second thing, forks. I can't see here, but you'll be able to see. They are leaking a little bit of fork oil. So this seal here has a couple of cracks in it, and it's got a sort of light to moderate leak of fork oil. Now that needs to be addressed for this bike to pass an MOT, because obviously it's a safety concern, because fork oil leaking invariably ends up on your brake disc. When I first got the bike, the left-hand side foot plate was in multiple pieces, and the heel toe shifter actually looks bent out of alignment. So a little bit of work to do there. So for a temporary fix, I've added a Rocket Free Touring foot control hanger, foot plates and gear selector mechanism, just to get the bike out of the shed into first gear so I could show it to you. However, this doesn't match the foot plate because this one's a sort of teardrop shape and the other one's oval. We don't know whether this gear selector lines up correctly, and last but not least, this foot hanger is actually powder coated black and the original is chrome. So we need to make something of what the pieces I've got that matches and actually is functional, allows you to select the gears. Aside from the things that need fixing, we've got some little cosmetic issues here, like a little dink in the tank. We also need to service the bike because we don't know when it was last serviced. And we need to make this bike into a touring motorcycle, because currently we've got no heated grips, we've got no wind protection, and we've got no luggage. So we need to do some modifications to the bike and routine servicing and fix everything. Right, battery is reading 12 volts. So let's whip it on charge. Right, whilst that's whirring away, let's work on this foot control. That's annoying, isn't it? One of the bolts you actually can't get to because the bar is in the way. Very frustrating. Kind of a poor design. Right, somebody in the last video said protect your knees, so I'm sitting on cushions now. So this is the new unit. Now I got all of this, the hanger, the gear selector and the foot plate for £40, which I thought was an absolute bargain. So I jumped on that. And now this is the wreckage of the old damaged parts. I'm going to try and combine the two to get back to what we need to. So to add to that, this is the original rubber insert that was bent out of shape, but if you see, I've managed to get it almost straight, because these are 50 quid. So rather than splashing money on a new one, try and just get it like as straight as possible. So that's to add to the collection of fixed parts. And then we've spent some money. This is brand new. I mean, look at the lights that come off it. Look at that. That is a new oval foot plate to go on the left-hand side. Brand new from Triumph. And I'll tell you how much that cost. £115. That's an expensive piece of metal, 115 quid. So I'm hopeful that if we combine this and this, that'll just sit neatly in there and won't look too damaged. Right, that's the new foot rubber mounted. Right, this is the foot control hanger, and there's a little cylinder here which a peg goes through. Now the peg attaches the footboard to the foot hanger, and it's on a spring mechanism so that it goes up and down like that. Now unfortunately this is the remnants of the old peg, which is broken, and the pin is bent out of alignment, so it won't actually release. So I think what we're going to have to do, just chop that off and see if we can free and get the pin out of its locating hole, because this pin is done.
to our old place in the faraway town where I met you, baby. All those years pass, now I know you, how the times can change, and I get a little down.
I've taken off the edge of this with the angle grinder. Let me just see if I can put this little breaker bar in. Just, oh, I think it might want to come. Okay, it's a start. Shit. It's a start but not an end. Okay, maybe the little one, maybe pushing as well as pulling. There you go. A little guy. Oh, bloody hell, see that? Okay, the spring came out and the pin's released. Okay, pin's out. Right, this is spring loaded with this little spring here, but how on earth do you get that on there, which doesn't really want to go on anyway, and the spring through one of the little holes in there? But which hole is it?
Thinking about tomorrow, I get down. Was it over from the get-go? Should we call it quits and let go? I have cried many times over you. Sleepless nights, what a crime. Wasting my tears on a broken dream. Maybe I just can't forgive another mistake. Maybe I don't wanna feel this heartache. Every time you let me down, I get to thinking I don't even know why I tried.
Right, we've come back 3 hours later, charged the battery with a proper charger.
There she goes.
Sounds a lot healthier, doesn't it? Clutch in. Now let's see if the gear selector works. That's first. So my cobbled together gear shift mechanism with Rocket Free Classic hanger and footboard with touring selector doesn't seem the smoothest gear shift. So that'll have to require further work. So yeah, that's a bit of a wasted afternoon really, but I need to do something different. So this is what I'm left with then. Original gear shift has gone back on, and as you can see, it's pretty badly bent out of shape. I'll just come up to the top and just show you it on the top there. So yeah, look, see that bend in the lever? And here, even this one I think is bent towards the bike. So my next plan is to try and get that piece of metal fixed basically, because to buy one of those is about £150. It's just too expensive. The second point as well is this ding in the tank here, which you can just see. Now interestingly, unlike my other Rocket, the Roadster, this hasn't broken the paint, and it's actually, just get out of the shadow, it's actually a shallower ding than the other bike had, so I'm going to have another go at pulling it out with the glue dent puller. So people say when you do this, you should open the fuel tank, supposedly because the air pressure changes. I don't think it's that much of a big deal, but
see if we can do it. Tomorrow I get down. Was it over from the get-go? Should we call it quits and let go? I have cried many times over you. Sleepless nights, what a crime. Wasting my tears on a broken dream. Maybe I just can't forgive another mistake. Maybe I don't wanna feel this heartache. Every time you let me down, I get to thinking I don't even know why, even know why I tried.
right, let's summarise where we are with the Rocket Free Classic. The foot control plan didn't really work. Mixing and matching components from a Touring and a Classic doesn't work. And in fact, the sub-variants of the Rocket, the original Rocket, the Touring, the Roadster and the Classic have all got different foot pegs or boards or levers or brake pedals. It's all different. None of it matches. So that's a non-starter. The Classic lever for the gear shift has now gone back on, and that will have to go to a metal worker and see if they can bend it back into shape. I spoke to a guy, really nice, and he said that we'll have to heat it to bend it back, because once it's bent once, if you try and bend it cold, it can just snap. So I'll take his advice. Obviously he's the expert, not me, and then hopefully we can heat it without damaging the chrome surface, but that's wait and see. The other thing is the battery. Got loads of cows there. The other thing is the battery. I've charged it with the proper battery charger. Doesn't start the bike reliably. When it's warm it does, but not when it's cold. So we need a new battery with as high cold cranking amps as I can find. Not silly money, but I don't want to buy a bargain basement battery. I want to buy a kind of mid-range battery with a lot of oomph to get that big engine turned over. The other thing is the dent in the tank. Again, it's a bit of a, you know, like bodge using that little gun and the pulling mechanism. It sometimes works if you're lucky, but most of the time it doesn't work. So this was one of those times. I think it might have improved it a little bit, but it's not. It's still going to be there. You're never going to get rid of it completely unless you pay a professional to do it. So basically I've achieved nothing. I've done all this stuff, like 2 afternoons spent on the bike and not got anywhere. But there you go. That's part of the fun. All right, guys, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next video. Hello. What are you up to? Cold? You're all wet, little creatures. You going to eat the stingy nettles for us? That'd be handy, wouldn't it?